Hi everyone, my name is Victoria King and I'm a rising senior currently working in Core 4 in Clark Hall. Um, I'm currently entering my fourth semester as an RA, and last year I spent time working in Butterfield A. So I guess one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the transition from working in the Butts into an all freshman dorm and how that relates to my own personal growth this year. I think that a lot of the things that I was learning this year and over the past few semesters has to deal with the difference in style that I had to create in order to fit this new dynamic within my hall, and also just the ways that I could be the best RA for my residents. Right now, one thing that I'm realizing is that in this environment in particular, I had to do a lot of mediation and a lot of conflict resolution, which forced me to really develop my communication skills and work to be in situations where I would have to really get both sides to express themselves in a way that put everything out on the table, and then work towards really listening and actively engaging with both arguments and both, both perspectives in a way that I never really had to last year because my hall really didn't have that many issues. I think that the experiences that I've had this year allowed me to figure out when it makes the most sense to input my voice into a situation, and when it is actually better for me to be very intentional about taking a step back and actively listening and figuring out how to kind of move forward in a situation to get the most productive outcome. So I would definitely say that my communication skills have grown a lot over the past year, just through conflict, but also through programming, through one-on-one conversations with my residents, where we're just talking about the current political climate, or talking about things happening on campus, and just really understanding the importance of communication in my own personal development, but also in allowing other people to develop important skills and be able to just think about the perspectives that they hold and the ways that they're communicating with other people. I would also say, in a similar vein, I've definitely continued to develop my leadership skills, and just continue to grow my confidence in speaking to different people and being a returning staff member. That was something that I definitely wanted to focus on this year in mentoring new RAs, and also in particular working with a co-RA this year who was new to staff. I found myself constantly just checking in with him, trying to give him tips on some of the things that have worked for me in my RA position, and really get him to think about what his own leadership style is and how he can figure out his strengths and weaknesses in the job. So those are two ways that I've grown personally in the past year. And I just think in general, like more on the social side, and just really figuring out some social relationships, and figuring out you know when certain situations come my way, whether or not me acting right now is going to benefit me in the long term, and whether or not me doing something is going to actually make the situation better or worse. So those are all ways that I've grown in the past year, all things that I've been reflecting on, and skills that I feel like were very important for me to develop and work through. And then, and also thinking about the past year, a mistake that I've made in my transition is thinking that all the things that I felt like were successful in the Butts would be successful in Clark. And although some of the things that I did last year have, been good for this group of residents, I definitely realized that the model and the style that I was working with hasn't necessarily benefited everyone in the hall. So usually I like to do a lot of community development very early on in the year, get to know, all my residents, have personal conversations, and really build that trust between them. So in the event that something happens or they have any issues or concerns, they feel comfortable enough to bring those to me and to allow me to be a resource. And so, in that way, I like to be kind of hands off, or more hands off than I think some other RAs, because I do believe that at the same time, I want my residents to be able to make mistakes and to have that learning piece and allow them to work through some of the mistakes that they've made, and just give them opportunities to grow in that sense instead of always being the one to handle every situation, to fix everything for them. And in doing that, I realized that I was kind of missing some of the things that certain individuals needed, and kind of having this broad approach to being an RA. And I realized that some individuals actually would benefit from more targeted check-ins, more one-on-ones, more constant contact about, their academic and personal success, and realizing that some people do need, more oversight in order to do well and to make that huge transition from high school to college. So that's a mistake that I've made, that I'm definitely working on in the new semester, and that's something that I've talked to with my co-RA. But I would definitely be more intentional about talking to incoming staff about that, and just really working hard to understand the dynamics of the hall and the individual needs of people who are living in the community that you're placed in. And then, of course, staying motivated for next year. I will be a senior, so that will definitely probably change my mindset in the way that kind of the things that I'm doing on campus, how I'm occupying my time. But overall, I don't think that will impact me as an RA, just because, as I've always said, I'm an RA for my residents. Like, that is the reason why I wanted to do this job. Is the reason why I enjoy doing my job. The connections that I've made with my residents, and just the ways that I've seen them grow over the past few semesters has always been motivation enough for me. Even thinking about last year, like, I see a lot of my residents that I worked with, and to see what they're doing now, is to hear the ways that they've enjoyed some of the programs, and the relationships that we had in their first year, just really has always made me happy and wanted me to be the best RA that I can be. I would also say I've had really good staffs that I've worked on, so just seeing the passion that some people have for the job, and seeing how committed people are, has always pushed me to bring that same energy and that same passion to my position and to my role. So those are always things that I feel like will continue to keep me motivated regardless of what's going on in my personal life and where I am in my academic career. So thank you for listening. Thank you for considering me for the position, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Okay, bye.